What's up, everybody? We got Monday Night Football. We got Giants and Steelers after weeks of great primetime games. The streak ends here. Not excited to watch this one, but excited to make money off of it. We smacked last week's Monday Night Football parlay, and we're going to do it again today. I got green lights because we're getting a bunch of green slips today. Let's get into it. What is up, everybody? Like I said, we got Giants and Steelers, and nobody's excited to watch Daniel Jones, not even Giants fans, but unfortunately, we have to do it. What's nice is we at least have Malik Neighbors back. He returned last week in week 7, but it was 2 weeks of not playing with a concussion. We weren't expecting him to go crazy, at least I wasn't, but a week removed from that, and we get a Steelers matchup that could be pretty friendly because although they have some tough DBs, they also play a lot of single high coverage, which is favorable for a guy that works on the outside like Neighbors. It's going to be a tough matchup. It's going to be a dogfight for him, but as long as Daniel Jones can put it in place where he can go and get it, I think he will. The tricky part is, can Daniel Jones put him in a spot that can have him go get it? We'll see. Wan'Dale Robinson is somebody that a lot of people are going to be talking about as well. Usually a guy in his role doesn't do as well against single high safety compared to two safety. What's weird for him is his usage doesn't really change, at least not when Malik Neighbors is on the field. So if you think he's been hitting and you've liked him in the past, you should like him in the matchup today. He's juiced over 4.5 receptions. I don't really want to take him at 5.5. I think 5 is a pretty key number for him. But as far as yards, we're talking Daniel Jones here. 5 receptions for 5 yards is a very realistic stat line for any of his receivers. So it's kind of tough to bite on that. Where we can bite, I think, is Tyrone Tracy receiving yards because even with the return of Devin Singletary, he's still got a lot of routes. And against a Steelers team that, again, is really good at defending down the field, they have good DBs. You can kind of just look to your running back as a check down when everything else is closed. So running back receiving yards are always an option. And again, with a receiving back, there's always the upside for a screenplay that they break loose on. So Tyrone Tracy and Malik Neighbors are probably my 2 targets on the Giants side. I don't want to touch their rushing game. We don't know how the usage is being split up right now, and it's a tough matchup. If you wanted to play an under, I'd understand, but it feels like we're just throwing darts unless you're in the locker room and know that game plan. On the Steelers side, Jaylen Warren is finally getting some usage, and he is the one you want to go to in this matchup. The Giants are a great run-stuffing defense. The issue is, if a running back doesn't get stuffed, they're gone because they're pretty high up ranked in both stuff percentage and explosive rush rate allowed. So we're talking Najee Harris, a power back who will consistently go and get you 3 to 5 yards. That's fine. He's good. He's great for a team. Then we got Jaylen Warren, the explosive back. There was a point, like a 4 or 5 week span last year, where he was literally putting up historic efficiency. There's still no Cordell Patterson, so the usage should be there. It's just about him going out and performing. This is a matchup where his way he works fits the bill perfectly. So Jaylen Warren is in a great spot today on the rushing side. On the receiving side, again, it's Mike Tomlin offense. We're never really betting on receiving, but today we are because Justin Fields, although he played great, is not the quarterback anymore. It is Russell Wilson, which means although there's probably like 10 dropbacks a game where instead of taking off and running and scrambling, we're getting a pass attempt with Russell Wilson. And that's huge here because George Pickens has played phenomenal this season, but it's kind of gone under the radar because there just hasn't been a lot of passing opportunity to begin with. Now with Russell Wilson, we get a little bit more to attack there. The reason that I love this, the Giants cannot defend wide receiver once to save their life. You go back and look at it. I'm pretty sure one of the worst stat lines that have been put up against him was Justin Jefferson, 59 yards. And the only reason that happened is because so many turnovers, early blowout. He didn't see the fourth quarter. Like in a full game where it's competitive, he's probably going for 120 against that defense. So wide receiver ones have just been dominating them. I don't expect that to stop today. Go ahead and take George Pickens. Outside of all of that, really the only thing to talk about is the fact that it's still, well, it's not National Tight End Day, but it's National Tight End Week. So although there's no flashy tight ends in this one, there's Pat Freiermuth, Theo Johnson. For whatever reason, the Giants don't like to use him. Maybe they decide to today. He's on the field running routes. Daniel Jones just never looks at him. So Theo Johnson for the Giants could be in play. Freiermuth is probably your better option if you're debating between the two. Personally, don't love any of the tight end spots in this game, but if you're a sucker for narratives, there you go. So, broke down everything you need to know. Let's get into the parlay. First leg, George Pickens anytime touchdown score. He's actually 4th in the NFL in red zone target percentage. He has 10 targets, which is also, I can't remember the exact number, I think it's top 5 in the NFL. His red zone usage has been there. However, he only has 3 receptions and 1 touchdown, and that 1 touchdown came last week. I still think there's a lot of regression to cover, and I don't see why he doesn't go and get in the end zone this week. Next up, probably the ugliest pick of the slate. New York Giants +6. Doc, the Giants suck. The Steelers have Mike Tomlin at home. What are we doing? Tomlin doesn't run up the or Tomlin can run up the score. He's done it the last 2 weeks. But traditionally, Steelers teams aren't going out there to score 25, 30 points. So even in a quality Steelers win, it's usually like somewhat close. So 6 points on the spread for the Steelers is a little too much. And plus, the Steelers came off 2 dominating wins. The Giants came off 2 embarrassing losses. 95% of the money on the money line is on the Steelers. This just feels like one of those spots that everybody just assumes is never going to happen, and then the books know something we don't. Because realistically, with the way the public treats these two teams, you would have expected the spread to be 10.5. 6 points. There's something floating in the air. The Giants are going to go get this one. And plus, again, the Steelers don't normally win big, so it's a very likely possibility they have to control the whole game. They're up by 10. Giants backdoor cover a touchdown late. It was never a threat, but we still get the +6 covered. Next up, Tyrone Tracy, 25 plus receiving yards. Again, the routes are there. Running backs have had success in the receiving game against the Steelers team, and he's a dynamic back. So, go and get us 25 yards, Tyrone Tracy. We're talking about 2 receptions and an explosive play. Next up, George Pickens, 70 plus receiving yards. We already have him for a touchdown. Let's throw some receiving yards in there too, because last game, Russell Wilson had no problem blindly chucking 40-yard balls to him down the field. Why not do it again today against an easier matchup down the field? You shouldn't be throwing deep balls against the Jets, 40 yards. Their secondary is too fucking good. You're telling me you're going to do it against the Jets and not the sorry Giants? Yeah, George Pickens is going to get 70 yards. So, we got the boost on this, 25% boost, so go ahead and get that. It's plus 2,750. Go lock that in and thank me later once it hits. I promise I'll have JJ for the next video. I know you guys miss him. I miss him too. I promise he'll be back here. We'll be getting back to those 20-minute sharp analysis videos. But for now, you're just settled for these quick ones with green at the end regardless. So, good luck for your talent. Make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you guys next video.